So the next one is a competency progress widget. And the idea is that we can visualize the competency or the competencies that the current student has already earned. In this example, I've got a competency framework which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 main competencies or parent competencies, and each of them have different amounts of sub-competencies or child competencies. And the idea is that we just to provide an aggregated, easier way to look at this, something like an overview of how well you did. Competencies are great because they're built into Moodle anyway. They're quite flexible, but also quite complicated to set up, unfortunately. But if you want to train and use competency-based education, then this is we think a no-brainer that you just add the widget and then you can see better how your students are doing. The competency progress widget is a new one, but we've got a notable mention, which I want to show you in a second, which is a competency graph, which basically shows the same information just in a different visualization. So let's mark this as done and move to the competency graph, and then I'm going to show you both how they're created. The competency graph displays the same information that we just saw, but it does it as a radar. So you're seeing that we again have plugins, practice, implementation. So it's the same competency framework which we're displaying. We can always only show one competency framework in both the competency progress and the competency graph. And you see that the student has completed one child competency of the plugins parent competency. Otherwise, it's the same information. It is just there to showcase or to provide information, an overview about how well you're doing with the competency. So I'm marking this as done as well. And before we proceed, I would like to jump to another page real quick, which is not this one. It's actually this one here. And go to a dashboard and create such a competency thing. Just creating a dashboard real quick. For those that don't know what dashboards are, we're going to talk a bit more about these and the new features that we have in 2.0 in a second. So let's just say that's comp example. And then we've basically got a blank canvas which we can use. If I add a block here, a dash block, I can use the widgets to create the design that I want. In this case, I want to do it with a skill progress widget. And then I've got my blank dash block. And once I've done that, the only thing that I have to do is I have to pick the right competency framework, which for example could be this one. And then I automatically see that information. So I'm a lazy student on this platform, so I haven't completed any of the underlying competencies. So for me, it's all 0. But you see that this is really easy to create. I just create the dashboard, pick the right widget, and then that's pretty much already done.